Hello and welcome to a video from filmsbychris.com. That's Chris the K. I'm Chris the K. Today we're going to be looking at IPtables, which allows you to configure your firewall for your Linux systems. Now, first thing you need to do is see if there's any rules in our IPtables. So you're going to have to be sudo or root for this. We're going to say sudo IPtables-L. And here we get this information, but there's no rules in there currently. This is just the default setup, nothing, okay? If there was something in there, we can clear out everything by running this command, sudo IPtables-F input. That will clear out any inputs, okay? So let's create a server. I'm going to use busybox nc netcat2 -l listen -p for port 8888. So I'm just using a port that is available to my user that is not being used by anything else. So I'll start that up. And then down here, I will start up in another terminal. I'll say busybox nc localhost, meaning we're using the loopback device to connect back to our own machine. Again, I talked about in a previous video, the loopback device is a network device that is not actually going out to any real network. It's a virtual network. So it allows you to do network stuff without leaving your current system, meaning it can't be sniffed or manipulated by remote machines. Everything's being done virtually on the current machine. But I'll do that and I'll say hello, and you can see that that was passed along. Now I can do the same thing. Let me start this server up again by putting in my IP address here. I can say 192.168.1.158 because that's my IP address. Boom, and I can say hey. Boom. Now this was going out to the network, so this is visible by other users. So people could see that, intercept it, manipulate it, blah, blah, blah. Also, there's no security on this. So opening this up, anybody from on the network could connect to this server and start typing stuff. Now, right now, it's just echoing things out to the screen, but I could use NC to control stuff on my system, right? So we may not want that. Maybe I want to start up a service, either Netcat or some other SOC service or web server, but I only want it available to the local system. And this makes sense. A lot of programs will do this. They'll open up ports for services for locally running applications. And if they're done right, they're going to use the loopback device so that outside devices can't access them. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this command. We're going to say sudo IPtables. We're going to add an input rule, and then we're going to say -p. It's going to be for TCP, and we're going to say port 8888. And what we're going to do, we're going to reject it. So we're going to do that. Now I can start up my server again. So we're going to listen on port 8888. If I come down here and I was to do localhost, I can say hello world if I could type. And you can see that's passed along. If I was to start that server up again and do my IP address instead, it just got rejected. So in the previous video, I showed how to use busybox's web server to reject things from outside the loopback device, but it was still reaching the web server. This is stopping any outside device connecting to our device on that port from even reaching Netcat or Telnet or SSH or whatever web server, any server you're running on there, this will prevent it from getting to that service before it gets there. It's a much lower level. Now, again, if I was to run this command, let's see, I can also, let's see. Now run, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about where I'm at. I'm looking at my notes. IPtables-F input, that will clear everything out. But before we do that, let's list L. So now you can see our rules here. We are rejecting TCP traffic from anywhere to anywhere on port 8. We're just rejecting it all. There's other options. There's a drop option, and then you can also accept certain things. So you could actually block a range of IP addresses and accept other IP addresses. We're not going to get into this video, but now that we have that set up, let's say we want to undo it. You can undo individual things, but what we're going to do is just clear out everything. So I'm just going to say sudo IPtables-F, and we're going to clear out all the inputs. So now if we were to list it again, you can see that option is gone. Again, there's other things. We're just looking at input policies. There's forwarding, output, other stuff that I haven't even messed with myself. But I just wanted to bring this up just as an example. IPtables can do a lot of things as far as forwarding traffic and rejecting traffic and dropping traffic based on lots of different variables. But I hope that this got you started. Again, there's a link in the description to this basic example that you can play around with. But read up on it and learn more if you need to. That's all I got to say. IPtables is very useful, but it's not something that I use very often. But if you're on a more of a readily used, not private network, you're going to want to know a little bit more about this sort of thing. I thank you for watching. Please visit filmsbychris.com. That's Chris with a K. There's a link in the description. As always, I hope that you have a great day.